1. The storm hit suddenly, dark clouds rolling over the city with an intensity no one expected. Hailstones pounded the streets, bouncing off cars and shattering storefront windows. People scattered for cover, but one little girl stood frozen, clutching her small backpack as the icy stones fell around her. She had been walking home from school, unaware of the storm brewing above. Her tiny frame trembled with fear as she looked around, searching desperately for someone, anyone, to help her. The rain mixed with hail, soaking her hair and clothes, leaving her shivering uncontrollably in the chaos. Across the street, a black luxury SUV slowed as its driver noticed the girl's plight. The driver, a single dad and a successful CEO, had just finished an important meeting. His sharp business suit was soaked, but his attention was fixed on the trembling child. Something about her vulnerability struck a chord in him. Without hesitation, he stepped out of the car, holding his coat above his head to shield himself from the hail. He called out gently, "Hey, little one, come here. You'll be safe in my car." His calm voice cut through the roar of the storm, giving her a flicker of hope. The girl hesitated, fear and caution battling within her. She had been taught not to trust strangers, yet something about the man's kind eyes and confident demeanor reassured her. She slowly stepped toward him, each movement cautious but determined to escape the hail. The CEO extended his hand, guiding her carefully across the slippery sidewalk. A few hailstones hit her shoulder, making her flinch, but he remained steady, blocking the harsh weather with his body. Their eyes met, and in that moment, a silent understanding passed between them. The world outside could be cruel, but some people could offer genuine protection. Once inside the warmth of the SUV, the girl sat shivering on the leather seat as the CEO grabbed a blanket from the back. He wrapped it around her tiny shoulders, speaking softly to calm her nerves. "You're safe now. The storm is over us, but you're protected here," he reassured. She looked at him, a mix of relief and curiosity in her eyes. "My mom used to tell me about you," she said quietly, almost in disbelief. The CEO froze for a moment, surprised by her words. Memories of stories she could have heard, the stories of someone who changed lives, flashed through his mind, and he realized fate had a way of connecting paths in mysterious ways. The girl's words hung in the air like a gentle echo. He turned slightly, glancing at her through the rearview mirror, a soft smile breaking through his usual stoic expression. "Your mom, she told you about me?" he asked, his voice tinged with curiosity. The girl nodded, clutching the blanket tighter. "Yes," she whispered, her small voice barely audible over the wipers and hail hitting the windshield. Her eyes, wide and innocent, held a strange familiarity, as if she recognized him not just from her mother's stories but from a deeper, unspoken connection. Driving through the stormy streets, the CEO asked the girl about her home and family. She shared stories of her mother, of little adventures, and moments of joy before her world had changed. He listened intently, genuinely interested in every word, every detail. Though he was accustomed to making high-stakes decisions daily, this moment reminded him of something far more precious: human connection. He felt a protective instinct growing stronger, a desire to shield her from any harm, just as he wished he could have done for his own child years ago. The girl spoke of her mother with a tender smile, recounting how her mother admired the CEO for his acts of kindness in the community. "Mom said you helped a lot of people when no one else would," she said, her eyes shining with admiration. The CEO felt an unexpected warmth in his chest, touched by the fact that his quiet efforts had reached the heart of a child. Her innocence and honesty reminded him that impact wasn't always measured in numbers or profits, it was measured in lives touched, in moments of comfort and hope. As the storm began to ease, the CEO realized he couldn't just drop the girl off without ensuring she reached safety. He asked for her address, and she hesitated for a moment before telling him. He noted the location, nodding reassuringly. "We'll get you home safely," he promised. The girl leaned back, relaxing slightly, her small hands gripping the blanket. Outside, the city still buzzed with storm recovery, but inside the SUV, a bubble of warmth and security enveloped them both. On the way, the girl grew curious about the man who had rescued her. She asked questions about his work, his life, and why he always helped people. The CEO chuckled softly, answering in simple terms she could understand. "I help because I believe we can all make someone's life better," he said. The girl nodded thoughtfully, her young mind absorbing the lessons of kindness, courage, and compassion. She realized that true strength wasn't in wealth or power, but in the heart that chose to care when no one else would. The conversation shifted to stories the girl remembered from her mother. She described moments where her mother had witnessed acts of generosity, including ones attributed to him, the CEO. He listened with a quiet pride, realizing the ripple effect of his actions extended far beyond the boardroom. Each story painted a vivid picture of the lives he had touched without knowing it, and the little girl's voice reminded him that sometimes heroes are recognized in ways they least expect. They arrived at her home, a modest apartment on the edge of the city. The girl's eyes lit up, filled with relief and gratitude. She turned to the CEO, her expression sincere. "Thank you, for saving me," she said. He knelt slightly to meet her gaze, smiling warmly. "You don't need to thank me," he replied. "Just remember to help someone else when you can." Her small nod was filled with understanding, as if she comprehended the depth of his words and the responsibility that came with kindness. At the door, neighbors had gathered, murmuring about the storm and the sudden rescue. The girl waved shyly, pointing to the man who had come to her aid. Whispers of admiration followed, noting how a high-profile CEO had taken the time to ensure a child's safety. The CEO, however, remained humble, focusing only on the girl's well-being. He watched her enter the building safely, a quiet sense of fulfillment washing over him. Moments like these reminded him why he continued to balance his work with acts of personal kindness. The girl's mother soon appeared, rushing out in alarm at the sight of the storm's aftermath. When she saw her daughter safe, cradled by the CEO's reassuring presence, tears welled in her eyes. She expressed her gratitude, unable to find the right words. The CEO smiled gently, shaking his head. "She was already brave," he said softly. "I just gave her a little help along the way." Their eyes met, and in that silent exchange, mutual respect and admiration formed a lasting bond between them. Days later, the girl couldn't stop talking about the storm, the rescue, and the kind man who had saved her. She shared the story with her friends at school, describing how he had appeared just in time. Meanwhile, the CEO continued his work, but the memory of that day stayed with him. It reminded him that beyond corporate success, the greatest victories were the ones where he made a tangible difference in someone's life, where compassion and courage intersected to create lasting impact. Years later, the girl grew up remembering that moment, the hailstorm, the kindness, and the man who had been a guardian angel in the storm. The CEO continued to lead his company, but he often thought of her and the countless lives quietly touched by small acts of care. Their story became a testament to the power of compassion, the ripple effect of goodness, and the unspoken connections that shape destinies. And in the quiet moments, they both knew that some encounters weren't just coincidences, they were life's way of showing the strength of human kindness.